What's up, guys? We're here on the Truth Report. I'm here with Mr. Warras, aka DJ Warras. He's a media mogul. He's like your Charlemagne the Gods, media pundit, political pundit, voice for the colored people. He calls himself the Mexican Zulu.
What an intro. Yo. I want to cry. Bring out the girls. Bring out the strippers.
But for you, Warras, I mean, like in the media space, when was your move from say, Vryheid, or when did you move to Joburg? And
I moved to Joburg 2004. So I went to Warras Vryheid. I matriculated. And then the plan was for me to move to Durban. My mom lived in Durban. And I was accepted at UKZN. I was accepted at Wits. I was accepted at Randse Afrikaanse Universiteit, which
so
became
you were
UJ.
like a clever boy, no?
I was clever. I did.
What changed?
I'm still clever. It's just that time.
Now you are clever.
We could measure
You
that.
are clever
now
now.
I am clever. Right? So last week of Jan, I think, was registration. I get to UKZN. They're like, I know the course is full. I'm like, what do you mean the course is full? I have an acceptance letter. I got 4 distinctions here. I'm moving. You know what I mean? You get 3 A's, 3 B's or something.
Wow.
So I was high up in terms of how can you not accept me? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Anyway, they said, hey, swag, bro, no space.
Yeah.
I say, yo. And this is like that registration week. So that very night, I jumped on a Greyhound and I went to Joburg because now I needed to get into option B, which was UJ.
Okay.
Got to Joburg. I literally arrived there at 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
I took it. My cousin's boyfriend picked me up and he took me to UJ and he was like, okay, sharp. He also attended UJ. He's like, you need to stand in this queue. When you get to the front, you give them bye. I was like, okay. Shout out Travis. Right. Anyway, I blow there. Eventually, I get in. By about 2 p.m., I was done registering. I was now studying at UJ.
Okay.
And I didn't really know anyone in Joburg. You know, when you come to Joburg, you don't really know people unless you've got family there.
100%, yeah.
And my family, my cousins were much older than me. So it's not like we would belong together.
Gotcha.
So it's either you're attending family functions or you need to make friends. Unfortunately, I make friends easily. So I started, like at UJ, I would sit in the student center and then I started meeting Praza. And one of the earliest friends I met was a guy named Warren Carolus. We used to work together in Westgate Mall. I worked at Stutterford's. He worked at Sidewalk Surfer.
I can see you there. It's
at the fragrance counter. Right? And that Warren guy went on to start an event property called C4, which was like the biggest colored events in Joburg.
I remember C4. Yeah.
So knowing Warren, right, even though I wasn't yet on radio, but it's like that was my introduction to the entertainment scene. I did BCom investment management. 3rd year, I dropped out. I went to work because I thought, let me make money. You know what I mean? I was barred to make money. I worked at Stutterford's, I worked at Vodashop. And I worked at Greyhound call center. Those, like weekend jobs.
Yeah.
And then I got the call to say, hey, we need a colored guy who can speak Zulu to host a radio show on YFM. When my friend, who I went to varsity with, he was now the programs manager.
Sure.
And he was like, hey, bro, I need help here. I need a colored guy who can speak Zulu. The other one's been fired. I'm like, fuck, let me pull up. Right? Because of the structure of corporate, where you go to work 8 o'clock in the morning, you leave 5 p.m. Bro, that just wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying, JL? It's not for you, it's not for you.
Yeah, bro.
And I left that day. I recorded the demo. The demo was cuck, but they were desperate. I got the job. I started that weekend, Saturday, and I was doing 3 to 6 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
And I was still working during the week at Pastel. I probably continued working at Pastel for another 2 months. And then, like my mentor on radio, his name was Monde.
Yeah.
He said to me that, this thing can look after you, but you've got to make something of it. You've really got to make it your own. Yeah. One of the first things he told me to start doing is DJing.
Gotcha.
He said, you need to learn how to DJ. I used to go with him to his gigs everywhere, from the Kasi to Santon to big festivals. I used to move with Monde like his lighty,
Yeah.
And I saw that if Monde had like, let's say 5 gigs in a night, 4 gigs in a night, Monde's banging them 10, 15,000 per gig. I was like, yo, this bruh's making like 60 grand. Tax-free money. I said, I need to jump inside here. You know? I went to Techniques DJ Mix Club. I learned how to mix. And now I was doing the 3,000 Rand on weekends. 3,000 Rand per month from my weekend show. And I had the supplementary income of maybe, it wasn't much in the beginning. I was getting maybe an extra 15, 20.
Sure.
But already, for look how many less hours I was working
Yeah.
versus how much money I was making.
And you were enjoying
compared
it.
to, yes, yo, and I was loving it, dude. You know? That show, really, I would just get there and be myself.
Yeah.
So talk cock on that show, bro. It was called The Last Round. And people had to call in and tell us about their last round.
Okay.
Right? Whether it's your last round of drinks, your last round of music, your last round at the club, or your last round at home with the cherry. Hey, bro, last round is last round. And one day, this one called in and he's like, "Sure, Warras." Like, let's say he says, "Hey, my name is Tsepo." It's like, "Yeah, it's me, Tsepo. You know John, you know Smanbani." Like, he's like, "I'm with this one, I'm with that one." We're having our last round. But I can hear the sounds in the background. It's like people are having sex. I say, "Okay, when's I end up?" Because it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm alone in the studio.
Yeah.
I've only got what I can hear in the headphones. Because it's a call. It's literally a phone line. So not many people call at that time. So every caller you get, you want to make the most of the content you can get out. So I'm continuing to speak to this bruh. Then he's like, "Yeah, John is also here. Just hold on for me." Then he gives the phone to John. Then John is like, "Sure, Warras. I know my one is named whatever the cherry's name is. Ntombi. Just say hello to her." When he puts the phone by the cherry, bruh, she's making sounds that sounded like something else is going on. Like, yo, these guys are having an orgy. In my mind, that's what I was thinking. But I'm like, "Continental," but he's not saying. The last maybe 7 minutes into the call, they then put Warwick on the phone. And Warwick is like, "Yo, dog, this is an orgy, my man. It's our last round, then we're going to sleep." Now, in my mind, because you're in the vibe of the call, right? I'm just going along with it, playing sound effects, whatever. I didn't think anything of it. But then when I put the phone down, I was like, "Yeah, I wonder if I'm going to get into trouble." I didn't know anything. I'm on at 3 o'clock in the morning. I didn't know anything about broadcast law. Fuck off. That was a problem, right? Because that call was a video simultaneously. There used to be a website called sondeza.com. It was like a very early version of a South African porn website.
Yeah.
Bruh, imagine like the lowest quality videos that were uploaded to a website, and it was just basically porn. By Tuesday or Wednesday, that video was sitting on like 300,000 views. And guess what's the audio in the video?
Your audio.
It's me, boss, on the radio saying, "Exepo, what's happening now?" What? Exepo's telling me what position is in. You know, like it was wild. So that is the first time I actually went viral. Because now I would bump into people out and about, and people would be like, "Hey, my man, I heard you on sondeza.com." Not "I heard you on YFM." They were like, "I heard you on sondeza.com." So even though the show was on at 3 o'clock in the morning on a weekend, I think the impact that the show had was still massive, right? And it was like a stroke of luck because the colored guy that I replaced, who got fired, was Trevor Noah. He was doing YFM at that stage. And he
So you never worked with Trevor?
I never worked with him. He left, I entered. Because at the time he was doing radio and I think he wanted to move to daytime. And I'm not sure what show they offered him, but he was like, "Nah, fuck that. I don't want that. I want daytime radio." And they were like, "No, you must do maybe like the graveyards during the week."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Nah, I don't want to. I'm leaving."
Yeah.
So when he left, there was this gap for me to come in. But I mean, it worked out well for him. I mean, after that, he did that SARS advert, then he did the Cell C campaign, then boom. Today he's fucking Trevor Noah. You know, he's one of our proudest exports. So that's how the journey started with the radio thing. And I mean, you know, coming from Fred, like I say, then it was obviously I moved up. I did daytime, I did drive time, I did 5FM, I did SABC1, Live Amp. Live Amp was the biggest youth property on television for 6-7 years. Anybody that hosted anything on SABC1 in those years, they went on to become superstars. So it was really an honor and it was a privilege to be on SABC1 and on radio at the same time. And I suppose what's unique about me, because in South Africa we are so obsessed with race, is that I look the way I look, but I speak the way I speak. You see. So for me, black people, I view myself culturally, I follow Zulu culture. And I regard myself as a Zulu. But I know that I look like a colored. You know what I'm saying? So I remember when I made that comment to say, "I'm not colored anymore."
You unsubscribed.
I unsubscribed. You know, a lot of people were so angry at me for saying that. But, bruh, like what the fuck? I was actually just taking the piss because I was like, you know what, guys, since it's so important, how about I resign from the race? You know, like how transgenders say, "I'm transgender now. I'm no more a male, I'm now a female.
Yeah.
Sharp. I am now trans race. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
But I was doing it to prove a point, to
Yeah.
say that if we obsess too much about it,
Yeah.
look at me, right? Any crowd, boss, like whether when I was on 5FM, I used to play things like the Polito Pro.
Yeah.
It's only white people there. It's a surfing competition. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They loved me just as much as the black people that loved me when I went to go and play at flippin' DJ Shimza's one-man show or Timbisa DJ Festival or Spring Fiesta. They loved me just as much as when I went to play for colored people in fucking PE. There used to be this massive festival.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, why does it matter type of thing is the point I was trying to make.
Yeah.
But it actually, after a career in radio and a career in TV, that one moment on that podcast went super viral, and it showed me that there's actually another avenue where I went viral for the first time for being the voice of an orgy, and I went viral again almost 15 years later for making a controversial comment that was clipped, edited, commented on. And that's how this TikTok thing started.
Yo.
Now, I mean, the TikTok shit is massive. Like, Penwell was showing me numbers the other day. Bruh, it's in the tens of millions of views. If you look at the combined views of a lot of the clips that I'm on, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And it's not because I'm fantastically brilliant. It's literally because I think something I've learned about this space, this podcast space, is a lot of people, I think, are thinking what I'm saying. You see, I am saying what I think, and a lot of people agree with it, but they don't have a platform. They're not famous. They haven't got a career in radio before that then became a career in television. They're just an ordinary citizen. I'm also an ordinary citizen. I fucking pay taxes, I pay rent, I pay school fees like everybody else.
Yeah.
It's just the difference is more people know me. So when I say something, it's like, hey, fuck, that guy is right. You know?
Yeah.
So a lot of people come up to me and they're like, hey, you are that guy.
Yeah.
I saw your clips, or I saw you on TikTok. You know what I mean? I went to the PA rally in Joburg just before elections. I DJ'd there.
Yeah.
And I was in the suite, you know, like where the councillors and whatever.
Top dogs.
Yeah, bruh. You know Khaled on.
How's your relationship with Gaten? You guys?
He's my guy. He wanted me there. He said, no, fuck, you must come, you must DJ. And I said, hey, you know, I've recently made some controversial statements about retiring from being Khaled. He said, fuck that, come. Right? And when I got there, I spent 45, no, not even, maybe 20 minutes DJ. And then I spent like 4 hours explaining that statement to different aunties. They're like, you should have never said that.
Your journey, man, like just in the media space, like it's very inspiring for a youngster, you know, looking to get into the space.
Yes.
What opportunities to take and like how to position yourself, you know. I mean, okay, do I start with TikTok? Do I start on YouTube? Do you just start doing lives on Facebook or Instagram, you know? But like for you in that space, you actually really took, obviously you took a chance just to navigate into that area, you know.
Look, I think what I didn't have in 2008 when I started at YFM is I didn't know, understand, or even have the power of the internet. The internet was there, but we used it just to Google stories that we would talk about on air.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm saying, that age where I started, we had the in-person benefit of these massive festivals where anywhere that you went with the power of the brand, people would come out.
Yeah.
It's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
Club Y was an event we'd have once a month. Bruh, there were like 5,000-6,000 people in Carfax in Johannesburg.
Yeah.
Like ridiculous numbers.
I remember coffee.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? I haven't been to an event or a party like that in years. And I go to a lot of parties. The culture now is internet culture. And you see it in that when people are at the Joel, the experience for the ones that are there is fantastic. But what everyone is doing is they're doing this. And then they put it on the internet. And then you are watching JR's video.
His experience.
Yes, and you're like, yo, JR made it, yo. This thing is on. But you're not there. Does that make sense? When I used to play at like iBeach and Spring Fiesta, bruh, I actually don't remember a time where people were recording me playing. Now, I was at Kunye last weekend. It was power, Shimza's event. When I looked at the number of phones in the crowd, even me, I was on my phone. I was standing behind Shimza recording the mix because I've evolved into an internet guy. I understand the importance of having a presence on the internet. Now, if you're young, up and coming, there's no need to go the Warras route and try and get a crowd, and you're not going to do it. It's a 15 years ago thing. Forget about it, right? What you need to try and develop is you need to try and develop an internet following. So when you look at Mac G doesn't have to go anywhere. That all goes home, comes to his podcast, he records his podcast, then he goes back home.
Sure.
Then he has whatever meetings he has. He's got an entire business team around that YouTube page that sell to sponsors, that manage all the content, that manage
Advertising.
the guests. That's it, right? So he makes money from the podcast. He gets mad views because he's got 1.7 million subscribers.
Sure.
You see? So now he's almost moved his crowd to an online crowd. And 1.7 million is more than any crowd, any standing crowd over the past 20 years that him or I could have ever seen.
Wow.
So I think if you are young and up and coming and you want to be in the entertainment or podcast space, you've got to say, okay, cool, who do I want to show up as on the internet?
Obviously, you've been in the game for a span, you know.
It's the most important job you'll ever have, right? In my opinion. I would like to use each individual platform for a particular purpose. Twitter, we can come and fight angry, aggressive, fuck everyone. TikTok, I would like to disseminate a lot of this type of content that we do on the podcast. Anything that I want to go viral, I'd put on TikTok. Because the way that the algorithm works, certainly the way it works in regards to me, hey bruh, it sends my shit supersonic, which is great. And I think, like I said, I think it's because I am saying what people are thinking. So I'll continue to do that. Not everybody likes it, but it comes with the territory. That's the game. So I think, you know, again, to the young people that want to have their own platform or want to start their own thing, you've got to try and be as authentic as possible. Don't try to be Warras. I don't try to be DJ Fresh.
I got you.
You understand? I don't want to be JR. I don't
100%.
want to be Rob Hersoff. I want to be Warras. Don't be me. You be you. And I promise you, if you've got something that is unique and something that people want to tune into, that's the thing that you run with. And again, use the internet to create it. Because people exist on the internet. We live in this like social economy, like the attention economy. We are overloaded with information. If I go onto TikTok now and I scroll through whatever is on my TikTok, on my For You page, but I'm going to see everything from a hot girl's bums to a podcast clip from South Africa to Joe Rogan to whatever is happening in Israel, Gaza.
Got you.
Just by swiping down the rabbit hole, to jokes, to memes, to relatable content, right? Where does your stuff fit in there?
But at the topic of mental health, it's a very prevalent topic, especially in South Africa, man, you know. How does that affect you, and how do you see the mental health space, you know, and things that we can do to improve, or what has helped you as a person, you know, individually?
Me, I'm a hard bastard. Very little stuff phases me. I don't respond when I get hate on Twitter. I get responses from, especially on social media, because I think that's a place where people really suffer from a mental health perspective. And it's not just from what is said to you. What people often do is they go on that platform and they compare themselves to what they see there. I've seen it in my personal life with people that I know, family, friends, where it's like people almost measure themselves against what they see there.
Of course,
That is a very dangerous thing
That's
to do.
the problem.
Don't do that. Right? I also do it. I look at stuff and I'm like, yeah, fuck, man. I wish that was me.
This one's driving that
This
car.
one's driving that car. This
that
one's playing
house.
at that gig. This one's now in that country.
Got you.
Everybody does it, right? But I've realized it affects us differently. I always feel better about myself when I tried my best. If it doesn't work, but I don't cry about it. But I know I gave it my all. When it doesn't work and I know that I was fucking around, you understand? Take accountability. Let that be on you. You understand? Don't let it drive you into like some kind of a depression where it's like you obfuscating the accountability part because you're like, it's because JR didn't want to plug me at that team. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, no. It's not because of that. You understand? How are you taking accountability for yourself? You know? Another thing that I think and I see is quite prevalent. A lot of people turn to vices, right? They turn to either drugs or alcohol or gambling.
Some kind of addiction.
Bro, some kind of addiction. Social media is actually an addiction to some people.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? But it's not for everyone, JR. Some people just don't have the resilience. You need to be extremely resilient. That's it.
That's a vital, point. That thing that you touched on.
Resilience, my friend. And you can't just make people hard. It's like, me, I'm hard. Me, generally speaking, bruh. Do you know what I'm saying? But I've seen how it affects other people. Where it's like somebody
can break someone else. It can break someone else.
Be like, yo, did you see that comment on that video? And then it's like, fuck that comment. You know what I'm saying? My core and like my core is my kids are the most important thing. There's really very little that anybody can say to me because I know my lighties are cute. They're very good boys. Love my kids to death. They're the ones that I work for. They're the ones that I perform for. First and foremost.
Yeah.
After that, it's my family. You understand? My family, my mentor, my significant other. That's what keeps me going.
Yeah.
And as long as I'm making those people proud and those people happy, I don't give a fuck about what the world thinks about what I'm doing. Because as I say, all I'm doing is I'm showing up and I'm being myself.
Yeah.
A lot of people are fake.
Yeah.
Your mental health will suffer when you fake because you are lying. You're
Yeah, 'cause
living
you
a
have
lie.
to, you have to act, you have to portray
That's
something that
permanently.
you the whole
You're
time.
permanently in a role where you're not actually JR.
No,
You
but then
understand?
you get people that they have to portray different roles for different people, bruh. And then I'm like, wow.
That's how lives works.
And you can see it from the same. You can see it from the outside.
You can see
man.
straight through it.
Yeah.
You understand? Well, look at the root cause of when your mental health problem comes around or when you're suffering, you're depressed. Why? What's causing it? You understand? Are you upset that nobody wants to help you? Are you upset that this thing didn't work out? We all go through financial problems. I mean, I'm not poor, but I'm not certainly not rich to the point where I can say, fuck it, I'm good, my kids are good. No ways, I work. You understand?
Yeah.
But I live a comfortable life.
Yeah.
Because I work for that comfortable life.
Yeah.
Can always get more. I want more, like anybody else. I'm ambitious to the point where I want to get more, I want to build more. But no one is going to do it for me. You understand? And I feel like entitlement is a big contributor to people's mental health suffering because you become entitled because you convince yourself that what you see on here is real life. Then you compare it to your own life.
Sure.
Right? Once you start comparing it to your own life, there's a problem.
Sure, yeah.
Because I can assure you that bra, that's life looks perfect on there. He's got issues that he's not going to fucking post about them. No one is going to come on Instagram and say, hey guys, I'm really suffering. My wife's a whore bag. You understand? No one's going to do that. No one's going to come on here and say, hey guys, I know I post this lifestyle and these cars, but fuck, I'm in so much debt. They're coming to take my house away.
Yeah.
You know, Dave Chappelle speaks about it in his one comedy special. He's like, I can't get home and call my lighties and say, we're not going to be able to make the rent this month. You know, but like the way he does it, he's like, these are things that you can't discuss. You know, as men, you can't go to your wife and say, babe, we fucked you. I don't think we're going to be able to buy groceries this month. Nah, you keep it to yourself. And different people react differently to things like stress. You know what I mean? Some people stress and then they work harder. They push harder and they get through it. Other people stress, they lock themselves in a room for 5 days and they don't want to take calls. They don't want to talk to anyone. I've got friends like that.
Yeah.
You need to develop that resilience through whatever it is you do. You understand what devoting yourself to something, that discipline that it takes to wake up every morning and go to the gym. And then you go and you play the rugby. And you understand what it takes to become better at this thing that you're talented at, to the point where you can play professionally. Then you understand what it's like to play even harder, put even more work in so that you can go and play in Romania. So when you're sitting here, you're not just a guy that everything was handed to. You understand? You've got to call on all of that thinking and you've got to call on all of that experience. And you've got to apply it to whatever it is you do. A lot of people are not like that. A lot of people are fat. Why are you fat? You're fat because you fucking eat too much. Now you want to sit here and say, hey, you know, my thyroid or whatever excuse. No, fuck. Take Ozempic, shut up and go to the gym. No one says that to people. We are too courteous with people. That's why mental health is becoming an epidemic because when somebody is I don't know, struggling with its exams, right? You've got a shitload of stuff to study. You haven't studied. It's the day before the exam. I'm suffering from anxiety. You're not suffering from anxiety. You didn't fucking study. You understand what I'm saying?
You're just stressed about it.
You're just stressed about it. Then it's like, hey man, life is full of disappointments. It could be heartbreak. It could be your partner cheated on you or did some fucked up shit or they're not the person that you thought they were. Now you are depressed. Like say, don't be depressed. Fuck that person, man. Find another person. You're cute. What's the issue? You understand? Ego. Your ego dictates
pride and ego, bro.
Yes. So we start diagnosing everything with a tablet because you can take a tablet for anxiety. You can take Ozempic because you're fat. You can take whatever antidepressant because you're depressed. That is existing in this fake life. You understand? You are almost existing in this fake life permanently. You're not a real person. And you're diagnosing it as mental health where it's actually like, who are you? You understand? Who were you 10 years ago? Who were you 15 years ago? When you left Poland to go play for Lions, who is that guy? I actually got into a fight one night in Melville with the Lions players. Ashton Willems's brother. And I think his name was, the one's name was Rhino. Said that threw me through a fucking glass window there by South Sky. Fuck the old window. I hit him with the jug. You know the jugs that used to be on the bar.
Yeah.
Because he was huge. He was going to kill me.
Yeah,
I had to take some advantage. I said, hey, what can I... I lost my Adidas cap.
Yeah.
I loved that cap.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, yeah, that was wild. It was a crazy night. It was the whole of Transkei closed down. But after that, we became brothers. We were stuck in the same police van.
Wow.
Handcuffed. They pepper sprayed us fucked up.
Yo.
And en route to the police station, we had this fight because we were colours and generally coloured people. We're very aggressive around each other.
Why do you think we should? Why?
No, dude, it's just like
You think it's just the?
But you have to have it.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to have
You have
it.
to be. You have to have
Yeah,
the
you have to.
resilience, brother. Yes.
My girlfriend, who was white, right? She asked a very interesting question the one day. She said, whenever we obviously used to go out a lot, you know, like we'd go to my gigs and stuff as my cherry at the time.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, why do you guys look at each other like that? I said, what do you mean? She said, like, I don't know, you're doing the look. You know? There's like a look where I'll walk into a place, I'll see a black person. My face will be a certain way. A white person. But when colored see each other, then we look at each other like some type of way, you understand? We lock eyes. Now you must do the look. Then it'll be like away, bruh. Then as soon as I say away or you say away, the look relaxes.
Yeah.
Then it's like we're always on edge around each other. I don't know, seriously. It's like hardwired into colored people. And then when you look at the way our communities are so violent and so aggressive, if you understand that look and that attitude we have towards each other, you understand why we are hurting each other. It's not to justify why it's happening. It's actually to say there's a problem here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can notice it from the most subtle of ways to, obviously, look what's happening in areas like the Cape Flats. It's ridiculous. On my flight over here to Cape Town, I saw a tweet where, hey, man, what is that? I think.
But what do you think would be the resolution? Sorry, man, to break your word.
Yeah.
What would be the resolution for what's happening?
JR, my brother, I have no idea. It's beyond my
Because I know
understanding.
Gayton came out and he said,
You see
listen,
this?
he's going to stop that in the past.
Right. In the past 72 hours alone,
That's insane.
nearly 30 people have been
the thing is,
murdered.
you don't hear that in the media.
No.
Like, where's that from?
That tweet was a response to a tweet about G20. Where it was like, we are ready for G20, blah, blah, blah. And then this person was
You know,
like,
it's the G18 now, no?
well,
18.
too mellow.
Yeah. The other
it's the
nation
G18
made
era.
I think Argentina and obviously
Argentina and America, said,
bro,
I
they
will
said,
go.
"Aye, bro."
But do you understand? It's like that question with Penwell, the question Penwell asked me when I said I'm not colored anymore, he was asking me, how do we address the violence in colored areas?
Yeah.
Gangsterism, you know, the killings, the Ngabis that are killing each other left, right. And I said, bruh, you know, it's a really, really difficult question. So when you think about it from like a drug war perspective, you know, I just feel like one of the first people that booked me to DJ at his club, he was a well-known drug lord. He was a kingpin, right? And he was a gangster. But this guy commanded respect. People respected him more than they feared him, right? He would do a lot of stuff in the community. And this is another problem we have. It's a common thing. The biggest gangsters who make the most money, brother, they do a lot of stuff in the community. They give away free shit at Christmas time. He used to do shit like that every year. There was free Christmas gifts for the lighties. There was free chickens, you know, for Christmas lunch or whatever the case was. There's a guy in Durban, right? Indian kingpin. That guy, when he died, the story that, well, I heard is that guy used to pay the school fees of all the children that went to that primary school.
Sure.
He literally funded the whole school. None of the Mensa from that community
Crazy.
had to cover school fees for their lighting.
Wow.
School fees, school uniform, books, what. He paid for it. But at the same time, he was this guy who did all this other shit. So, if you come into a lot of these communities, who those people are on the news, in the media, and to the police is not who those people are to that community. Now, that creates a problem because when you are trying to punish them for whatever crimes have been committed, when you are trying to address this thing that's going on, it's a tough one because none of the people in that community are going to talk against that guy, right? And when that man died in Durban, for example, after paying, no one is paying the school fees.
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
now you've got another clusterfuck on this side. Yes, okay, he's dead. And now we can say, but he sold all these drugs and whatever. But nothing is just black and white. Nothing is simple. There's no simple fix. You understand? You can't just come into the community, arrest everyone, and then it's over.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. It's a trade-off. You know, Thomas Sowell calls a lot of these things trade-offs. It's not to say that we can allow crime to just continue unabated.
Yeah.
But it is to say that the difference that I've seen is when that guy used to book me to play at that club, the way that people respected him, as I say, less than they respected him more than they feared him. The stuff that he did in the community, and I know it sounds fucked up, but like he conducted the shit in a responsible way, dude. Compared to what we have now in those same communities, is because there's a lot of outside influences that came in. Drugs are still sold.
Yeah.
But the people that are selling them now don't give a fuck. They don't do anything in those communities. That guy's gone. Nobody replaced him as the guy who does stuff in those communities. And those communities, it's like cutting off the head of the hydra. 2 take its place. You cut off those 2, 4 take its place. 4 becomes 8. 8 becomes 16. Now you've got 32 bosses. Now that's a problem because all 32 bosses are giving instructions to 64 soldiers. There doesn't seem to be a structure anymore. It's absolute chaos. Everyone is killing each other over turf war, over this corner, that corner, these drugs, those drugs. How can we know?
My thing is just revival in South Africa. What can we do as individual citizens? You a man of influence. I mean, I'm coming into the space. How can we really get together, as South Africans? Forget about colored, black, Zulu, Mexican, subscribe, unsubscribe. It's subscribe.
Resubscribe.
Forget about that, man. Like, how can we really get to where we can talk about this Rainbow Nation? Because obviously that Rainbow Nation conversation is always a thing. But just get together, man, and really make a difference and see how we can move forward, man. And forget about white, colored, this thing.
I wish we could forget about race, right? For me, I think racism is the most ignorant way to operate. If you're a racist, you're a fucking idiot. I just don't see it having any
place.
Yeah, it doesn't have a place. Like, what is the benefit of being racist? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because when you meet enough people and when you come into contact with enough people, you'll realize that it doesn't matter what color those people are.
Yeah.
You'll find somebody who could be black, white, Indian, colored, but the content of their character, you'll find a black guy that's very similar to a white guy because maybe they're in the same industry, maybe they were educated in the same place, maybe they grew up in the same neighborhood. I still work with and I operate with like a lot of lighties, man, like that are between the ages of 20 and 25. They're in events, they're in entertainment, they're big on social media. And, like I do a lot of work with them. I use them for a lot of projects. If I'm doing something in the media space, they're my go-to guys when I'm looking for something from somebody from TikTok. When I'm looking to start my YouTube series and I'm like, okay, these are the mentions that I want there. This is the way I want it executed. I give it to Zion. And when I look at his friendship group versus my friendship group, like I say, me at Warras Vryheid, I was friends with everyone. But I was the only one. Everybody was very cliquey. The whites were with the whites, the blacks were with the blacks, and so on and so forth. I had one Afrikaans friend whose dad was a super racist. They had a 3-clear on their wall at home. Right? But he was my friend. Because something in him changed by his lived experience. Being friends with the colored guy, who he's not supposed to be friends with because remember, he's grown up being told that those ones are lesser than. You know what I'm saying? That is the thinking of racism. That turned out to be nonsense because me and this bro were fucking best mates until. He lives in the Netherlands now because unfortunately he is still a racist. But he's still my bro. You understand?
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like people don't have enough experience of each other. Because you left Boland and you went to play rugby at the Lions and you came to Joburg. When you get to Joburg, the O's that play for the Lions come from everywhere. You be with the black guy from Eastern Cape.
Yeah, that literally, bro. Like my roommate was a black oak from Joburg. No, Kagiso.
You see?
That's my bro Vincent.
I can bet you Vincent never met anybody from Boland.
Yeah. I was the first brother from Boland that, he's met people, played against, but we stayed together.
It's almost like you were forced to be brothers.
Yeah.
But then when you're in the situation, you stay together, you start realizing.
We liked each other, bro.
Yes,
we were like brothers.
Vincent is the fucking no. You could have left Boland thinking, black people from Joburg are like this. Now you meet Vincent, now what now? It shatters that perception that you had.
100%.
Now, how many people from Stellenbosch, white people, know someone from Soweto?
But not even so way to Kayamandi. That's the township in Stellenbosch.
How many people from Khayelitsha
I'm not
or
talking about the
Langa?
lady that works in the at the house. I'm not talking about that lady.
But that lady that works at their house, they like that lady. They like her. They end up loving her. A lot of those people become
100%.
part of the family.
Yeah.
Because it's the one that you gave a chance.
Yeah.
Now, how many people from Khayelitsha and Langa know people from Clifton? Zero. How many people from Clifton
Unless
go to
the
Khayelitsha
boys were scouted and they had bishops now, like a Sasha or a, these guys.
Well, Sasha's not from Khayelitsha.
Yeah.
You check now.
What you thought?
Sia, right?
Yeah.
Sia went to Craze, but he came from flipping Tanzania or something.
Yeah,
Sia's
Zwide.
from like Zwide, right?
Is it Zwide? Was it him or
I think he's I think he's either from, but he's from like Eastern Cape.
Yeah,
Rural vibes.
Yeah,
right?
very
but
rural.
Then, Grey College.
Yeah.
And now when he gets to Grey College, the whites start realizing, hey, Sia's not a bad oak. And Sia starts realizing, hey, these whites are not so bad.
Yeah.
Today he's the captain of the Springboks.
Sure.
You can see that guy is the genuine leader of that team, of all of them.
Yeah. I have a lekker story of Sia.
Yeah.
We played Craven Week 2009.
Yeah.
Buffalo City, Eastern Cape, man. Yeah, that's a setting. Our Western Province team was loaded, brother. It's myself. I'm sick, myself.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah, you were there. Part of the load, like.
Even it's a bit.
Yeah.
Kutsoff, Frans Malherbe, Brad, loaded. Ricky that's on the radio, Ricky Skrude.
Yes.
The captain.
And this is what, 15 years ago?
Yeah, bro, that was long ago, bro. 2009.
Jeez.
And bro, Frans Malherbe. That's our front row, bro. It was hectic, bro. We had a serious team. We play against Eastern Cape, first game. Sia's captain. Bro, we pumped them 50. Guess who's man of the match?
Who?
Siam Tanda.
Aibo.
Collision.
Yes.
Bro, that guy, just his impact that he made, man. And he was SA School's captain, bro.
Back then, exactly.
Back then, bro.
The guy was like a born leader.
Nah, he was born for this.
But
born.
if someone had not scouted him and taken him to Craze, we wouldn't even know that guy.
Yeah.
He
But the
would be
same
like,
with me. Everyone that comes out of it, bro.
Thank you. Everyone that comes out of it comes from somewhere. If no one was scouting for those Owens and no one was giving those opportunities, they would have never made it to that level. If we look at the transformation journey and the development journey of rugby as a sport, and the opportunities it's created for some that serve as an example for millions of others. I wish we could copy and paste that to everything.
Do you know what? You know how much I've had that conversation saying, take what Rassie has done with the Springboks. Take that structure, the format, how he's merged his management team, how he's he's obviously how diverse the team is, colored, black, Indian, whatever, the up, down,
Yeah.
and adopt that in our government, bro. Don't you think?
Thank you.
You
could adopt
and even to Bafana.
Bafana.
Yeah,
I was about to say, you don't even have to take it so far.
Not
Do
far,
it
just
with Bafana.
Bafana. He doesn't have to coach.
Boss, you can do it with tennis.
Yeah, everything. Swimming, golf, bro. Why? Bro, Tiger Woods, one of the greatest ever to take a golf club,
Look at his journey. Look at what his dad did for him. Look at where he was playing at country clubs when he was 12.
Yeah, Serena and Venus. How can't we have colored, golfers?
Colored, black.
Yeah, colored and black golfers. Tennis players.
Tennis players.
And golfers.
If you take it to politics or to the way the country is run, let's say the way that Saru, let's call it the rugby union or the rugby leagues are run, right? Is that you can't just take a guy because he's your bra and put him in a portfolio and say run it. Doesn't work.
Do you know what I was thinking?
Does not work.
Do you know what? There's a portfolio thing. I was thinking when I came, I was like, not even last night. I was just thinking, these guys that are politicians. Yes, you educated. Firstly, you studied. This, etc., etc. But are you qualified to run a country? Bruh, there has to be a test. There has to be something to say. Okay, Warras is running for this minister of XYZ.
I don't think necessarily your qualification even entitles you to run, because there's many departments that are run by people with their doctorates.
Common sense also, bro.
But they there to eat. They want to enrich themselves because it's a culture of the leadership. Where, bruh, if you go to like Home Affairs, if you don't want to spend the whole day there, you pay a 5 clipper and you rush your process. The guy that's helping you will actually allude to the fact that you must leave him with something. Then it's like, but this is your job. You are asking me to pay you to do your job. Cops, Cape Town is better. Yeah, you can't bribe the cops. Shout out to Metro.
Joburg is on other level.
Boss, Joburg is the other level. Everybody feels entitled to something. And that is not how you build leaders. And ironically, you can copy and paste the same example in the gangsters. You understand? There used to be a structure of leadership
Yeah,
where
yeah.
a guy got to the position he got to because he earned it. And everybody respected that guy. So if he said, don't do that,
Yeah,
you
you're gonna
understand? They'd listen. That is no longer the case. It can't possibly be. With the numbers that we see, clearly, it's a fuck show.
As a guy of faith, I honestly believe in South Africa, bro. We need God back, bro.
No, definitely.
In schools, in our government, because now with this legislation that was brought out or about your faith or religion that can't be practiced openly, but we need God inside. You're talking about the figure, the head figure, that's the authoritative figure.
That's the head
And
figure of us all.
we literally need that back in schools in South Africa, because that's how the structure runs, and that's how you run in how could I say, in righteousness, you know.
Yes, 100%.
But if it's not there, then there's no structure.
And there's no moral compass.
100
right?
pure, bro.
And
Just to be a good person also,
dude,
nah?
it's very rare. And I think, where people misunderstand faith
Yeah.
is they equate faith with religion. Right? And why I say that is because it's like I'm a Roman Catholic.
Okay.
Right? My son, his mom is Muslim.
Okay.
My son is a Muslim. I don't have an issue with my son being Muslim. As long as he's brought up in a way where he understands right from wrong,
Yeah.
and he understands faith, right? I am not insisting that the guy follow my religion or else. You understand? Because I'm not the best Catholic. I don't go to church. I should go more. Sorry, Ma. Sorry, Jesus. But I'd like to think that I do follow a path of righteousness because I try to do things that are right. I try to do very little that's wrong. And I try to kind of keep my morals intact. And not only in what I do, but also in what I say. You understand? I'm trying to say to people that, like I tweeted something the other day where I said I was drunk. It was Saturday night. I'd been out the whole weekend. And my observation of the entertainment scene of like the club culture, I said, yeah, one thing that Joburg is not short of, one thing that Joburg has an oversupply of, I said, is whores, right? I tweeted that exact thing. I never put any context. I never explained it further. The next morning when I woke up, the shit had gone super viral.
Sure.
The feminists were coming for me. They said, how dare you? You understand? And I was like, hey, okay, maybe I said it in a bit of an offensive way.
You take it off?
But nope, never take it off. I don't even apologize for it to this day. Watch this podcast for the context. I've mentioned it actually on another podcast as well. But the reason I tweeted it is that I was trying to say there is a lack of morality in the social scene. The social scene feeds directly into the dating scene. You're going to go out, you're going to be social with your bros, you're going to meet someone. We all go there, we want to meet someone. When I meet someone, I do not want to have to buy that person hair, nails, and a fucking Gucci bag in order to start some sort of verhouding.
Oh, so that was the context.
That is the context. The context was like, I can see these ones are attracted to the tables that have got the most liquor on
But
them.
see, for you as a young oak, obviously you were the DJ. And
I'm old now, bro. I'm 38. I'm 31 for 7 years.
But you look good, man.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. You're taking care of yourself.
It's Botox.
Het was Zempic,
Yeah,
you
no,
say.
Zempic. I put a Zempic in my face.
Yeah, man. But for you, today, I feel like the boys, they can't chat to girls, man. They don't have that. I have another brother from Toekomsrus.
They on here.
Yes. You used to say, the lip in the tongue, you must have the game, the
You
lip
must
in the
have,
tongue.
yes.
You must be able to speak. But I feel like the boys today, one thing they can't fight and the other thing they can't speak,
Very true. A lot of them are bitch ass niggas.
Yeah.
And a lot of them
Because
are...
now you want to climb on social media, but if we rock up and we're in person...
whenever I speak to someone that tells me that they either met somebody or they are on flippin' Tinder, Raya, whatever, Bumble, I don't know, whatever dating app, I just think to my brother, I cannot respect you if you're a man who's on a dating app and that's where you go and look for women.
You literally have to be out, because how are you going to meet somebody? I mean, I met my wife at a wedding.
You see?
Went to a wedding.
And when you met
my
her,
wife,
you guys engaged. You saw each other. You were attracted to her. She was attracted to you.
You know what happened, baby. Yeah. So she knows the story, man. But we have a PR story and we have another story. But...
Tell me the PR story.
No, I'll tell you off camera. Check it. The PR version, obviously the TV version is... but there's the truth. There was 4 different people that introduced us to each other.
Right.
Yeah, bro. So we were.
Like a match.
Yeah, bro. And
They were Tinder.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, they were tendering the aunties, yo.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, come meet the Oki, man. Come meet the Oki. And she told her cousin when I walked in, she told her cousin, that's my husband.
Yeah.
That's my husband,
She
bro.
knew.
She knew. I was like, yo, yeah.
They were tendering.
There's a hit on my head. It's like a butterfly effect. You know
It's a
that?
butterfly
you know that
effect,
You must also write the book, bruh. Are you busy with your book at least?
No, I'm not. I'm still being a rock star.
Okay.
When I'm done, when I'm like, let's say when I'm like 50.
Now I'm waiting for that book.
Yeah.
Bruh.
You
I'll
know
come
what I
do
mean?
your book launch, don't worry.
I also like, I was actually telling Rob, I said to him like, my thing with music is that I think that music communicates in a different way. It unites people. You see the people dancing at those
That's true,
festivals,
yeah.
but they're all colors,
Yeah.
all nations, all persuasions. It shows how far ahead those people don't care about racism.
Yeah.
They don't care about classism. They are there because they want to enjoy.
Yeah.
And, if we bring it back home and we look at the world with like a big picture perspective, music is one of the few things that I think unites people.
Sure.
Sport is another one.
Yeah,
You understand? It's
100%,
like,
yeah.
I don't care what color the people are on the field.
Yeah.
I want them to win and I want the World Cup to come home.
Yeah.
It's beautiful that Sia became that guy. But I promise you, there is not a single Springbok fan that gives a damn that Sia is black. You understand? Because remember, sometimes the way it's sold to us by
But you say that
politicians.
now, no?
But
You say that now.
I genuinely believe that.
Initially.
Initially. But he's proven himself.
Yeah, no,
He is
100%.
Sia Kolisi is not there because he's black.
Aye, bro. Sia,
You said, in 2009, the guy was leading teams to victory.
Yeah,
before anybody even knew him.
Yeah.
You understand? He's still the same guy.
Yeah.
It's just that more people know about it. And he's united a nation. He's united a team. He's united an organization and he's united a nation.
Yeah.
And I think that's very powerful. That is the type, we need to take some of these things that sport and music and whatever teach us, and we need to just apply them to some of the things where we see division,
Do you think if they put Sia, obviously he looks good in a suit, but do you think if that girl runs for, gets involved with a party and
I don't think so. Nah, I don't think so. I think if he had to get in, I honestly don't see a party that he could get involved in. I just feel like in all the parties that we have as options here, hey, bro,
you think they
policies.
should just make it like America and just 2 parties? Or like in Europe, 2 parties,
South
2,
Africans
3
are
parties.
South Africans are too tribal. You see, depending on who the leaders are of those 2 parties, the Zulus will vote for a Zulu. You understand what I'm saying? The black people will
Mexicans will
vote
vote for Warras.
That's it. You understand? Like, people are very...
People from the Boland will vote for me if I stand. If I stand, the Boland will vote for
The
me.
Boland will vote for you because you're from the Boland.
Immense.
So in terms of your question earlier about how do we start fixing, is that like, I think within our own communities, we need to get stuff right first. Like how Jordan Peterson speaks about like, fucking make up your bed or whatever, tidy up your room.
Got you, yeah.
You start
at home.
at home, and view it as like a microcosm of
Yeah.
where you want to take it.
Yeah.
You start at home in your own house. You know what I mean? You, your wife, your kids.
Yeah.
Then you can help your neighbor with whatever situation.
And you can help your street. You can help your area.
Can you help your area?
Etc. Yeah.
That's it. I've seen guys build literally from there all the way out.
Yeah.
Because things are clouded by an agenda.
Yeah.
We can't take something like Orania and have a sensible discussion about how is it possible that this community went to the middle of the fucking desert and they are thriving. They have their own electricity, they have their own water supply, their own food supply, they even have their own currency.
Sure. For real?
And you get
What is
Orania
it?
bucks.
Hi.
Yeah, it's like 1-to-1, not to the rand.
Bro.
But you move in Orania currency. That limits the threat of theft or robbery. Because if I go and rob Orania and I steal 1 million Orania bucks, what am I going to do with it?
Monopoly.
Yes, but my million rand is sitting somewhere safe.
Oh, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It's not to say that I'm buying those things and I'm losing the rand. If you want to leave Orania, you swap your Orania bucks for Orania, for normal rands and you can operate. Randelas, boss, right? So, when I look at Orania, I don't know why those men are settled there. I don't care if they're racist. What I care about is that they found a way to build a functioning society that works, where everybody's safe and shit actually happens. I'm trying to say, hey guys, at some point this thing functioned well. Well, it's not functioning well anymore. What is it that we are not doing? Because this is unsustainable. We cannot have people living in abject poverty and living in sewage.
Yeah.
That is not fair. That is not the freedom that these people voted for. You understand?
Yeah.
So stop treating people like shit and then using apartheid as an excuse. When I say, okay, but the shit was working before. I don't want any of the human rights injustices that came with it. I want the functioning infrastructure that came with it. Why is it that you seem incapable of achieving that? Oh, now we find out that people were getting tenders of 2 billion. Oh, well, look at that. So you own a 50 million rand car and the people at the hospital have got no fucking x-ray machine. You see what I mean? Now I'm cross now.
Yeah.
Now as a citizenry, now we need to get angry. You see? And when the shit blows up, you end up with the July riots type of situation.
Yeah.
We can't be having that, because the other thing that happens when those situations occur is it hurts the poorest and the most vulnerable.
Yeah.
Me and you, we're fine. You live at your house with your Mensa, you are fine. You go to work every day, you do your job, you run your company, you're on your podcast. But for the poor person living in Khayelitsha, it's not as simple.
Yeah.
You understand? The one who depends on a grant. They need these people at the top to function properly. Because when they fuck up, the fuck up that they deal with in Philippi is worse than the one that I deal with in Melrose Arch, or you deal with in Stellenbosch. Let's try and build a righteous, moral society. And I think it starts with us. You know what I'm saying? Let's try and, in everything that we do, let's put the effort in, guys. Take personal accountability.
Sure.
Don't hide behind excuses that something else is always somebody else's fault and the reason you're here is because of this and that and the other. Fuck that. Believe in yourself. Whatever it is that you're doing, it doesn't matter where you work or what business you own, or if you want to start a podcast, or if you want to be on TV, you want to be on radio. If you know that you've given it your best, you've given it your all, and it doesn't work out, you've lost absolutely nothing. You understand? You've gained resilience, you've gained fortitude, and you've worked towards something. So when I was 4 years old in Vryheid speaking Zulu, I had no idea that one day this thing would unlock a radio career, which would become a TV career, into DJing, into events, into podcasting, into security. You understand?
Yeah, just inspiring people,
That's
man.
it.
Yeah.
And I'm just an ordinary guy. Like I always say to people, it's not because I'm super talented, gifted, fucking can't fuck with
Good
it.
looks.
Good looks. You know what I mean? I'm short. Right? Like the one thing God didn't give me is He didn't make me tall.
Yeah.
know
Now you
what I
would
mean?
have been more powerful, man. You would have been too powerful.
I would have
then.
been too powerful.
Yeah,
been
yeah,
over-
nah, definitely.
If I was tall and
Would
I
have
had
done
eyes
low- you
like
would
JR,
have-
yo, everyone would be pregnant. I'd have 9 lights.
You would have done high jump.